What up, y'all? It's the Strong Dad. Just finishing I finished my chest and back day, and now I got this here Reuben sandwich that I'm going to smash after I make this video. You know, when I was younger, I used to look at things like Reuben sandwiches and shit, and I'd be like, what are old people eating them nasty ass sandwiches for? Bro, sauerkraut on sandwich. Yo, this shit is good. This shit is fucking smacking. This shit is good, my nigga. My mouth is watering. I'm looking at the sandwich. I already done taken some, eating half. And I'm like, fuck the video. I'm gonna eat this sandwich. But I gotta reward myself by finishing this shit. So, I said some things about rep schemes last year that I was wrong about. And I want to take that back and fix it. I want to right my wrongs. Okay? Excuse me. The reason why I said that shit was because I had a hypertrophy cell, right? I was still in the mind of hypertrophy above all. You know, I was competing for a show. I really wanted to do well. I had already placed 3 times the first time, so I was trying to place again. So I was really focused on hypertrophy, not really trying to spend any time educating or trying out new tactics, especially because I was in crunch time. If you're competing for a show, you just ain't got time to do a bunch of other shit. You got to stick to a program. So during that time, I taught you guys about rep schemes. And because I was sticking to a program, I said some things that weren't right. So let's fix that right now. Firstly, I said anything beneath 4 reps is a waste of time. I said that anything beneath 4 reps is more likely to get you hurt. It's not going to really grow any muscle. All it does is really build strength, and it's not really, it's most likely a waste of your time. If you want to test how strong you are, you can do a 5 rep max if you want to, or you can just pick a number and say this will be my rep max, but anything beneath 4 is more dangerous than not. And I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I said that, and I am very wrong. I'm very wrong, and I apologize to anybody who's ever repeated that shit after they heard me say it, all right? I made you look like a dumbass, okay? I made you look like maybe you look smart because the person you said it to is a dumbass too. Now they're dumb more because of me. So, this is what I should have said. I should have said if you're a beginner, then 4 reps and below don't matter. If you're a beginner, you're most likely going to get hurt doing it. If you're a beginner, you shouldn't even be testing your 4 rep maxes. I said maxes, 4 rep maxes, and that was a big problem. Because when you say a something rep max, it implies that this is the hardest it gets for you. All right? And it also implies that you're not training at that level. You're just testing it. Okay? And that is wrong also. This is the real fact. The real fact is that if you are advanced, if you've been training for a while and you understand mechanical tension, maybe you've practiced with length and partials, so you know how to keep a muscle group engaged through the entire movement, right? You are fully aware of the mind-muscle connection, meaning you can really actually feel your muscle groups now. I know, like, you might have just started feeling your chest and you're like, I got a great mind-muscle connection, but give it another year and I bet you that will change. You know, sometimes beginners think they are advanced when they're not. So you have an excellent understanding of these things. Then 4 reps and below, they work. They can work for you, my nigga. Heavy eccentrics works. All right. Here's the thing about hypertrophy training is it's all about just destroying the muscle so that it can grow as big as possible. But if you are only working on one, like a certain type of muscle fiber, right? Like, let's say if you're only working on your slow twitch muscle fibers, then you're not getting as big as you can. Okay. These long rep sets, they are reps that activate slow twitch muscle fibers. All right, not the powerful explosive ones, but the ones meant to last a long time, right? Meant to have more endurance. And a motor unit either responds or it doesn't. So a motor unit in your muscles, right? There's motor units, and a motor unit is a section of muscle. It's a section of fibers that interconnect and respond to stimuli. All right, respond to stimuli given to you. I can't get too sciencey. All right. The motor units in your chest don't all activate on a really long set. That's just your slow twitch muscle fibers activating. So yeah, you're getting a big chest with that 15 rep set, but what if you activated all of the motor units first, okay? This is where heavy eccentrics comes into play. Heavy eccentrics it relies on training your fast twitch muscles, the powerful muscles that burn out quicker, right? The big muscle groups, all right? Heavy eccentrics, it focuses on eliminating the stretch reflex component of a lift. So where a normal lift, you might see a guy go bam, and then bam, right back up. A nice smooth motion. What he's using here is he's utilizing the stretch reflex. Your muscles will stretch and the tendons will stretch and yank back like a rubber band, taking some of the pressure off of your muscles in the deepest portion of the stretch so that you can complete the movement, all right? A heavy eccentric will be when you have the weight is typically a lot heavier than you can perform full range of motion for more than 5 reps, all right? That's sometimes some people consider it for no reps, right? Just a partial. I don't consider that. I still believe in training full range of motion. So for me, a heavy eccentric is going to still have a full range of motion. You're just not going to be able to perform that full range of motion for a really long time. So for more than 4 reps. After that, that's fucking done for, okay? So when you're doing heavy eccentrics, what you do, right? For the bench, let's say, you'll come down and you'll pause it. All right? You'll pause it and then explode up, eliminating the stretch component, the stretch reflex component. Now, here's where we talk about injury, because you're still probably thinking, well, yeah, but you can still get injured more with heavy eccentrics. The reason you get injured with heavy eccentrics is either 1, you are undertrained, which we covered that in the beginning, right? You're undertrained. Or 2, you are overutilizing the stretch component, the stretch reflex. Overutilizing the stretch reflex with a lot of fucking weight can fucking hurt you. Because while yes, that stretch reflex is meant to protect your joints, and you're activating agonist and antagonist muscles, and they're all working together. Yeah, all that shit is working. Yeah, but it's still a shitload of fucking weight. It's still a shitload of weight. So it's still gonna fucking hurt you, potentially. All right? Potentially. So that's why when you do heavy eccentrics, you want to eliminate that stretch shortening cycle. You want to that stretch reflex. Now, when you eliminate the stretch reflex, it puts more of the weight. It puts the weight all on that muscle group. Okay, you come down, boom, that stretch reflex, you pause, and that energy dissipates, okay? It doesn't just hold in there and wait to explode. It dissipates. So it'll boom and then slowly dissipate until it becomes nothing. So you'll pause long enough for it to dissipate. And then when you go to push that weight, you now have to activate all of the motor units in order to get that heavy ass weight up explosively. Now you can back off in your later reps or in your later program if you want to less weight, more reps, and I need more weight on this bitch, right? You might drop down 40 pounds and then realize you need to go up another 20. You see what I'm saying? Because now everything is active. You're stronger than you were before, all right? This is why I believe that once you get good at compound lifting, then I want you to go towards your machines and build up your stabilizing muscles. Build them up nice and strong. If you're doing it right, you're doing it all together. But let's say you're do this first and that first type of guy, then compound, then machine, then back to compound, then heavy eccentric, then whatever the fuck you want to do. That's the pathway that I am prescribing for people whom it works for. If it doesn't work for you, then fuck you. I'm prescribing that you start with your compound movements. You start building a base level strength, building core strength, Then you make your way to the machines, work on stabilizing muscles, build up those, polishing those areas that are hard to reach, hard to hit, right? Working on that isolation strength. Then going back to the free weights, and testing out your new strength and getting stronger there. Once you've gotten stronger there, instead of going back to the machines, my suggestion is go heavy eccentrics. Because now you're trained. And I know you're like, that's really drawn out. Why don't I just start a heavy eccentrics? What I'm saying is actually the beginner to advanced pathway. This is what I'm prescribing, okay? You're a beginner and you're going to start off on compound so you can stop moving shit like a baby deer with your legs caving in, right? You're going to go to the compound so that you can become a stronger human and have a stronger base and stronger core. Then, as a beginner, then you're going to go to the machines and polish off those stabilizing muscles and work on all of those. And the isolations you do with your bigger muscle groups are going to help your muscles grow more. That's still going to add strength. Then, now you're a little more advanced, go back to the compound, stay there for a while until you become an efficient mover of weight. Not just stronger or have a strong base, but you become an efficient mover of weight. Then, once you're an efficient mover of weight, add some heavy eccentrics on there. And I bet you, one, you're going to get way stronger, and then you're going to start to grow. Especially when you go back to your machines or you go back to just pure hypertrophy, if you decide to go back. Also, heavy eccentrics, I believe that the carryover for long-term health is probably better, in my opinion. And I can't substantiate that claim with science just yet, so I'm not going to say anymore. I actually do want to substantiate that claim properly, but that's why I said I think, okay? So that's my recorrection of rep schemes, all right? But Beneath 4 actually does fucking work. I'm going to tell you what I did. This is how I employed heavy eccentrics into my program so that maybe you can employ it into your program. So what I started doing was for just the heavy shit, just the big muscle groups, because heavy eccentrics doesn't work with small muscle groups. So don't go trying to do it with little muscle groups. You might fuck yourself up actually there. All right. Small muscle groups actually respond better to longer sets, longer drawn out sets. That's just an added. While yes, you can get some good growth with heavy eccentrics on your small muscle groups, I reckon you're better off with more reps. Okay, with more reps. So anyway, all of my big body movements, legs, chest, back, all of those, I started programming just reps of 2. I would do 5 sets of 2. All right. And I stayed at 5 sets of 2 for just 2 weeks. And then I went to 5 sets of 3 to 4. All right. And I would stay there until I'm getting 5. Sorry, not 3 to 4, 3 to 5. All right. So I'd start at 2 and I would stay at 2 for 2 weeks. And then on the 3rd week, I went from 3 to 5. So I would start at 3 and then just stay on that program till I was hitting 5 reps. And another thing is, don't jump on and off from program to program. Stick to a program for a long time. I know you believe that muscle confusion is a thing, but it's not. Muscle confusion is not a thing. Your muscles respond better to long-term adaptation to a movement, not to repeated different movements. And the reason being is because you have to train your motor units. You have to train your body how to respond mechanically to a movement. So if you keep doing different movements, then you're essentially getting muscle damage from readaptation, but then that's it. There's nothing else, and it's not even a lot of muscle damage you're getting. All right, it's more CNS fatigue. It's more cumulative fatigue than it is fatigue on just that muscle group, going from thing to different. Stay on a singular program and adapt to it over a long period of time, and you'll see more growth out of it. If you plateau, it's because you're not employing techniques within that same program. And this really more applies to the guys who are advanced and intermediate, because a long-term program, you will plateau because you're getting better. So then you employ lengthened partials, rest pauses, yada, yada, yada. Okay. So That's what I did. I started 2. Hopefully that didn't confuse you. I started at 2 just to break it in. Just to fucking break it in. And then I moved to 3 to 5 and stayed there until I was until all 5 sets were 5 reps apiece. And then I would increase the weight, but I wouldn't increase it so that I'm back down to 2 reps. I would just increase it so that I'm back down to 4 reps. So let me say that all again, just in case you were confused by all of my bullshit. I started at 2 reps, 5 sets of 2 reps with heavy ass weight for 2 weeks. Then I would move to heavy ass weight 5 sets, 3 to 5 reps. And I would just stay there until I was doing 5 reps for all 5 sets. And once I was doing 5 reps for all 5 sets, I'll move the weight up so that I'm back down to 3 to 4. So my minimum will be 3 or 4 reps, and I'll just keep there until I'm doing 5 reps for all 5 sets again. And that's how I employed heavy eccentrics. And another type of heavy eccentric I employed was not performing a rep at all, was lowering. So with my dips, I would load up heavy, start at the top of the movement, and lower myself down, stand back on the box, get back, and do that again. That really helped out in the beginning, because some muscle groups still don't behave the greatest, and you want to make sure you're fully trained in these areas before you just jump into heavy eccentrics. And for me, my chest, I don't have a gifted chest, so you know, I train it a lot in different ways, not, you know, like random like I just said, but in different ways throughout a year to make sure that I'm really getting good training. And so when it came to dips and heavy eccentrics, it was hard for me to get up off the ground. So I went lowering, and then once I got good at lowering with really heavy weight, then I would load up, I think I dropped like 30 pounds or something like that, and then I would start at the bottom of the dip, the full stretch, and just go up barely, not even a full entire extension. And I even did this with my dumbbell press too for a little bit, and then I moved up in weight, moved up in progression, so on and so forth. So again, I know I be rambly, but hopefully this clears that up for you when it comes to low reps. Now, when it comes to range of motion, real quick, full range of motion, if you can help it. Yes, you can get great benefit from short ranges of motion, but I will stand by being strong in all ranges of motion matters more. All right? So if you've gotten great at heavy eccentrics, that's awesome. That doesn't mean that all of your training needs to consist of fucking partials and shit. You need that full range of motion. You need that full range of motion. You're not fully trained if you're not training in all ranges of motion, okay? You can isolate your ranges of motion for workout blocks to train better. Like, for instance, break sets with the bench. I was doing break sets with the bench where I was the weakest. So I would get under the rack, set it up so that it was right where I was the weakest. And yeah, that's not a full range of motion, but you're training there for just that point in time to get stronger in a certain range. Then you go back and do the full range of motion. So remember that. Yeah, I think that was everything that I said in that last video that I was wrong about. Hopefully that clears it up for you. And again, if you are a beginner, heavy eccentrics is not for you. If you are past the threshold of a beginner, the way you know heavy eccentrics is for you is, what's a good way to test this? Because it's not the same for everybody. It's not the same for everybody. So I gotta find a good way. If you want to know if heavy eccentrics works for you, then do it. Try it out. Just try it out. Don't go beneath 4 reps. Just try out, do some 4 rep sets. Program just a 4 rep week where you're just doing 4 reps per set for, you know, your big muscle groups, and then see what happens. You know what I'm saying? See what happens. That's bad advice, by the way, because a lot of motherfuckers are gonna hurt themselves. But there's really no other way. There's really no other way. Like, you don't know you are past beginner till you actually test it out, right? Like you don't, like if you're training for the NFL, yeah, you might be good in training camp and this and that, but you don't know how you're going to perform in that stadium till you're in the stadium. And if you're not meant to perform, you're eventually going to make your way to the bench and then out, right? Same thing with lifting in the gym. Yeah, you could spend extra time in beginner range, but you're going to shoot yourself in the foot with losing out on techniques that can now help you. So you just got to test it out. And then if the fatigue is so high that you cannot possibly recover, that it takes a week and more to recover, maybe wait a little bit. Or if you're feeling it in every other muscle but the muscle group, you ain't ready for it. That's a bam, that right there. That's it right there. If you do a heavy eccentric, chest, legs, or whatever, and you're not feeling the muscle group, you're just feeling your body, you're not ready. You're not ready. Go back to the beginner shit. Go back to a regular program and stay there for another 5 months, for another 6 months, and then see where you're at again. Test it. If you're not ready, go back, do another 6 months. Really, do a year just on your beginner program. Do a year after that year. Do your beginner program, then do it again for another year before you test anything else out. Okay? Before you test anything else out. Then you'll really know. So hopefully that rambling shit meant something to y'all. Hopefully you got something out of it. My new format for this shit is to try not to be so fucking formal and to just chat with you guys, because trying to be formal makes me not want to make content. You get what I'm saying? I can't be formal. So if this doesn't work for you, then I'll start putting timestamps in or some shit like that. I don't know. I have to ramble in order to teach y'all. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to smash this still hot Reuben sandwich that I've been waiting for since I left the gym, motherfucking boy. Peace.